All right, welcome back. Question for you guys: when you think of choke jobs in sports, what?
Anything Cleveland.
I was gonna say what games seem to come to mind when you think of choke jobs in sports?
I was thinking like Hail Mary, Colorado, Michigan. I was thinking something like that. But probably like Dennis Green. You know, Dennis Green rant. You know, Chicago Cardinals.
You don't think about the Buffalo Bills, the Houston Oilers. I think about that one.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I was thinking about that when you talked about it.
Trying to think who else to think about. Sacramento against the Lakers.
Yeah, that too.
Portland against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cleveland, like you said, Cleveland against anything, pretty much.
They ain't had no choke jobs big as them though. They just panic jobs. I don't call them choke jobs. They ain't had no lead that big and blew it.
What they call whatever jobs you want, it still ended up being disappointing.
Well, the Eagles came out on top against the Giants. They were down 21 points with 8:17 left in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened. Like, you know, Vic all of a sudden went crazy. You know, they seemed to help. They had him checking pretty much the whole game. All of a sudden he went nuts. And then I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights.
Right.
I don't know how. But at the end of the game, how in the world do you kick the ball to Deshaun Jackson under those circumstances? All you gotta do is kick the ball to bounce, and then the only chance they got to beat you was with a Hail Mary.
We said the way he caught the ball, he was afraid he was going to shank it.
There's a high snap.
Well, you better off doing that than kicking it to him.
Yeah, he could even just ran with it and tried to, you know.
Well, if he ran with it, they'd have been probably in field goal range.
Yeah.
If he didn't get far.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the reason he gave. He's just going to shank the ball, so he wanted to make sure he got a good kick in. And then he just remembered, oh, dang.
Well, I guess we can't blame on the punter. The Giants' defense fell apart, and then the offense couldn't get a first down in the whole fourth quarter. So, I mean, it was all around a tank job. The question is, can the Giants bounce back from this?
That's a good question. You know, this can either make them stronger or it'll deflate.
Well, they've had not necessarily meltdown like this in the past, but they have some games like this in the past. The year they won the Super Bowl, they got blown out about 30 twice in that season, and then bounced back and went on to win the Super Bowl. Earlier this year, they started on 1-2. Remember, Skip Bayless said put a
fork in them. Put nail in the coffin.
Yeah, he said put nail in the coffin. So this is one of the teams I think that could bounce back from this. And of course, they still control their own destiny. They win. All they do is win one more game. They're in. And so that's the interesting about that. The other thing is, you know, where does this win? How does this go on for Vic's, you know, season? Yeah, does that make him the MVP now over Brady?
He got to finish.
It ties him with Tom Brady now.
Yeah, I mean he got to finish the season strong. Just get 2 more W's, and yeah, I think he could be considered over Tom Brady.
Also, as far as picks, this was a median game. 23 out of 42 picked Philly, and there were 7 10-point bonus hits, and that one including Javon and Fred. Fred, you know, of course, won the division this week, so it lets you know what kind of crazy week it was. But, next game was the Sunday night game, Green Bay at New England. Of course, everybody picked New England. What was amazing about this, New England kind of struggled to win it, but the average spread for the pick was 17, so it means pretty much everybody was choosing New England to blow Green Bay out, especially without Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But Matt Flynn actually played pretty well. Question for you guys: when you look at college football, when you think of poor clock management, what team do you generally think of?
Michigan.
I said football.
Oh, my bad. I just got it mixed up. Poor clock management, college football. I don't know what team you thinking about.
What team do you think of? Okay, looking at last season, how many times last 2-3 years, game coming out last few seconds, they somehow box it up or don't get a playoff or something. It's still end up winning though.
Oh, LSU.
And what school did Matt Flynn go to?
LSU.
Yeah.
And what did he do in the last 20 seconds of this game on the line?
Those are pass up the middle with no timeouts left.
And then they couldn't. Then they couldn't get a playoff. He couldn't even spike. He couldn't do anything. And I mean, yeah, I know.
You know, actually, it was still. I mean, it was still enough time, but he didn't know what it was. It was fourth down, so they couldn't just spike the ball.
Yeah, but you got to be to get another playoff though. In that time.
Yeah, I guess he could have got it. He didn't know what to play to call.
That should have been a good
he should have had another play prepared. Yeah.
I mean, but you can't put that all on him. As a coaching staff, you have to be able to, especially with with a quarterback, that's inexperienced.
Yeah.
But the story of this game though, New England played like crap to me, and they still found a way to win, just like they always do. They always seem to have somebody make a play, and this time it was a 220-pound guard turn to kick 71 yards.
New kick returner now.
That was maybe the most strangest play I've ever seen. Yeah, and that was pretty much the difference in the game. My boy Charles Woods had a chance to end it.
Yeah, I think one Michigan player gave another Michigan player a gift.
Yeah, I think he did. He dropped it.
Yeah,
and I think he felt. I think. But I mean, he already gave him a break back in the day on the tuck rule. So.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I'm still mad about that. But anyway.
But this was this was a game that I think the Green Bay can to say that they I can say at least I think they felt they got maybe a backup in the future for Matt Flynn, and I think they give them solace going into the last two games because they win the last two they're in, even though they got to play the Giants and Bears, but they win the last two. They still control their own destiny. All right, well those were the key games. We're gonna talk about some other tidbits from around the league. First, I'm gonna start with NFC West. For the third time this year, they went 0-4. No division history has gone 0-4 or went winless in the week more than twice in the season.
You know what? Like I was telling y'all. All right, here's the deal. Two of the last 5 years, NFC West teams have been in the Super Bowl. Problem with the NFC West teams is part of its ownership and management is like you have all that talent, but then when it leaves, you don't replace it or get any other playmakers, and that's been the main problem. It's like they lost 49ers lost T.O. and Jeff Garcia, and that was like years ago. Yeah, I know, but they haven't replaced nobody since then. Haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver in forever, and then you look at St. Louis, they lost Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, got old, but I mean they eventually lost him. I mean they had the greatest show on turf, and they didn't replace any of those players. Look at Arizona. Yeah, they lost Kurt Warner and replaced him with Derek Anderson, and they lost Anquan Bolden.
Could have been Matt Leinart if you had.
And then who's the other? Yeah, Seattle. I don't know. They just fell apart.
Still got Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, he ain't the same no more. Sean Alexander got old, and they dropped him off on the side of the road, and so it's like you have all these teams that used to be dominant or were always up in the postseason, and it's like once their players got old or left, they could
I think all y'all need is
they didn't get replaced.
Well, the question is though, should the NFL come into a ruling? Because there's no chance any team in this division will ever finish over 500. So should it be a rule if you don't at least finish 500, you don't make the playoffs?
They should just
go to the next best team.
They should implement it today.
I agree. If you don't at least finish 500, you shouldn't be able to go.
Yeah.
But that's just the role of the game. But the other thing I say to that though, if you're gonna do that, which they kind of fixed it this year, but you're gonna do something like that, you should also try to set up something to prevent teams from tanking as well. Because that's another way that you could let teams that supposedly don't deserve to get in, if you're going to tank the last 1, 2, 3 games after you got the division.
So the only thing they could do is make a lottery like they do in the NBA. Other than that, I mean, ain't really nothing else you could do.
The other topic is, this was another bad week for picks as well. And quite evident reason that was because you look at some of the teams that won this week. Panthers, Lions, Bengals, Bills all won. And coming into this week, they had a combined record of 9-43. So that tells you how bad the picks were this week. Also, there's been rumors about Bill Cowher saying that he wants to come back and coach next year, and he talked about 3 teams that he was interested in, and one was the Giants, the Dolphins, and the Texans. You guys' thoughts on Cowher coming back? Which one of these teams think he would be a good fit with? If he goes to the Giants, Coughlin's going to be gone.
Of course.
I don't think. If the Giants get the playoffs, I think Coughlin still comes back. I don't think Miami's going to get rid of.
Yeah, because the Tuna.
Well, Tuna's not even working there no more.
Oh, he's not. All right.
He quit, but I don't think Miami's going to get rid of him that fast. I think they'll give him a little bit longer. But I can see him in Houston. I think it's time for what's his name?
Kubiak.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to go. He's been there long enough, and they still haven't reached that next step. So they were fighting each other this week. So what do you guys thoughts about Cowher?
I know if I was him, I'd probably just stay in the broadcast.
You know?
But all 3 of those places would be good places to start. I mean, he wouldn't be completely rebuilding.
Actually, I kind of like him at the Giants.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I actually think that'd be the best fit for him. He can handle the New York media. He's well liked. He's well known. And I mean, they already got pieces in place for him to have a dominant defense with the right, guidance. Houston, I mean, they're more offensive oriented. I think they should just stick with Gary Kubiak. Have a more offensive minded coach in Miami. I'm not sure. They just need another quarterback. Chads just don't work out there.
All right. Well, the other thing, listening to Chip Dilfer made a good point I never thought about. He was saying all these coaches that quit and try to come back, they don't never seem to do well because the game is changing so much.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're not in it, you can easily fall behind. And I'm wondering what kind of success he will have when he has a coach in a couple of years. So that's one thing. Not that you mentioned. I think about all the coaches that have done that. Not too many of them have had too much success when they try to come back.
That's why I think the Giants would be the best spot because he wouldn't have to. You already got talent there. You really got all the pieces you need right there already. You need a few more.
Yeah. The other thing we mentioned earlier about the Texans, they played the Titans again. It was the round 2 of Finnegan versus Andre Johnson, but no fights between them this time. But Brian Cushing got into one of his own teammates, so I think that's reason right there. Kubiak needs to go. I think he's lost control of his team. And that's all we got for tidbits around the league. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll look into the games for Week 16.